What is the attraction of Miami to women, to young women?
Easy. Party culture.
Just the party culture.
It's a party. Party in Miami for a girl. If you're a pretty girl in Miami, you get everything for free.
What would you tell your son about, dating a woman?
Make sure you're good before you make sure somebody else is good. That's my very first thing to say to my son, and I hope I have a son one day, not a daughter.
Why? Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. On this channel, we talk about all things dating and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of relationship that we want. So without further ado, please welcome Paulina to the show.
Hello.
Yes, I said the name right. I was practicing for like 5 seconds before we shot. How you doing?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, you
relaxing.
Good? She's relaxing. She's sharing her Sunday with us. We love it. We love it. We love it. So listen, I'm going to dive straight in. So tell us your age or your age range, asking a lady her age. And one thing a guy should know about you if he wants to take you on a date.
I'm 29 and I don't like to be bored. So if you want to get me somewhere on a date, it better be interesting.
Oh, you don't like to be bored. So what's like the perfect first date for you?
It's a good question. Nothing such a thing as a perfect first date, really.
Yeah.
In my opinion, definitely don't take me to no restaurant, no coffee. I'd rather to, I don't know, do something more interesting, like let's go roller coasters or jet skis, something fun.
Jet skis. You can tell that she's not talking about London because we don't have those over here. You wouldn't be open to, what about like bowling?
Oh no, everything but bowling. Nah.
Everything but bowling?
Yep, I cannot bowl.
Why?
I can't bowl. I cannot do it. Like I get that ball in my hand and it just no.
It's all right. You can be bad at
them.
it and still have fun.
No. If I don't win, it's not fun.
Oh, you're competitive?
Too much, yeah.
Too much. I love that. That's so funny. When was the last time you competed with like a guy on a date?
I actually compete on everything I do in my life.
Yep.
Yeah, even freaking workouts, like I have a competition with my friends, like who's going to do more workouts, who's going to lose more calories during one workout. Like everything in my life is a competition, basically.
But is that because you enjoy competing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look to win, so.
So if a guy takes you on a date to do, let's say, not bowling, because I know you don't like that.
Yeah, we hate bowling.
What else do you compete? Let's say you're doing like an arcade, like you go to a really cool arcade, right? Mm-hmm. If he wins, does that make you sour? Are you a sore loser?
No, I'm gonna go for part 2.
And if he's like, nah, I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
if he quits, then that means he's a quitter. No more next date, like no more dates. Like bye.
You didn't give me a chance where I could kick your ass, so you're a quitter.
Exactly. Like if you won once and that's all you want, hey, like come on, that's not fair. Like play more.
That's not fair.
Like, I need to win.
That's so funny. I feel like, do you have like any major icks? Do you have a lot of icks?
I don't have a lot of exes. But
a lot of exes. Oh, I said icks.
Oh, ex. Oh, no.
No? But you have a lot of exes?
No, thank God not.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have too many of them.
Okay. Are they all quite similar? What they're like?
They were actually all quite, yeah. Like it's you getting the exact same coffee, but different colors.
Really?
Like a little one has a bit more milk, the other one has a little less milk, but they all taste the same. So yeah, that was my.
So what was the thing that's the same about them?
Everything they were doing. I guess I was just dating the same guy over and over again until I found the one. Like literally, I was dating the same guy over and over again.
I feel like a lot of girls do that.
Yeah, it's like a pattern. I think like you look for that one person. And you're so used to that character that you just stick to it and look for another one that's supposed to be different because you already know you don't like that, but you get the same benefit.
Is it like you almost look for the same person with adjustments to the things that you want? Kinda,
yeah. But at the end of the day, it turns out to be exact same thing.
Yeah, because no one's perfect. No one's perfect. But you're in a happy relationship now. You're married now.
Yep. I'm
recently married.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you say that your newly wedded husband, is he similar to a lot of your exes?
He's actually complete opposite.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's actually complete opposite, and I'd known him my entire life too. So
yes,
we are like, I don't know, childhood besties, I'd say.
Oh wow, that's
so
really
that's
cute.
that's funny. Like I knew what I'm doing. Like I knew that's the guy I like, and that's the guy that I actually know I will be good with.
Did you always look at him and be like, that's the kind of guy that I want, or did it did you get to a point where you're like, no, this is what I want?
Actually, that's a good question because I've been always thinking about it. And when I was a little girl, I feel like I had a little crush on him, you know?
Really?
But I never thought about him this way. Like I always wanted something different, wanted to get out of my hometown, like do bigger things and stuff like that because I'm small little town. I'm from small town.
Yes.
But then we met in, you know, adult life.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he actually thinks very similar to me, which is smart. Obviously. So I'm like, okay, like I know you, I like you, I've been always liking you. Let's go for it. Okay. And it was a good decision.
Okay, so what your ex is like in comparison to him? Like, what is he like that's quite opposite?
Well, he's very organized. He know what he wants from life. He's keep on going that direction. So that's definitely quite opposite to all my exes. Okay,
so would you say your exes didn't have direction in life?
I would say, yeah, no. They were more about like partying. I always felt like I'm the ATM/cash machine for them, you know.
Interesting. So
and what now that's quite the opposite.
What would make you choose them? Why would you choose those guys?
Well, to be very honest, the looks.
Standard?
The looks will, yeah, the looks get you first. Like if you say otherwise, you're kind of lying to yourself. Like let's say you see a girl on the street, right, and you think she's cute. Like you're gonna go to talk to her because she's cute, right? You have no clue what's her character. So don't tell me you go for a character. We all go for the looks first.
I think the looks is what gets in the door, but just because she's really attractive, that doesn't mean that I would choose to continue investing
exactly,
in her.
But that's what's gonna make you start talking to her. And then you'll decide, do I want to keep on talking to her or do I not want to keep on talking to her? So basically, I was always going for the looks. I'm like, oh, you're cute. Let's try that. And then, yeah.
But then I'm guessing it wasn't just with these other guys, right? It wasn't like you just went on one date and then you're like, nah, that's it. Like you obviously, were you not seeing them for an extended amount of time? And that's when you're like, this isn't working.
Yeah, I mean, in the very beginning, it was always so perfect. And then deeper, I was getting into a relationship. I'm a very loyal person.
Okay.
And I get very attached to people. Like I don't like to change my crowd. I don't like to change my people. So if I'm with you, I'm actually with you. So for me, it was very hard to end a relationship because I was like already used to that person. Like I knew all the flaws and like I knew it all. So I was like, why would I start brand new with a brand new person and start, you know, finding out more and more about the new person?
Yes.
Versus just stick to what I know. So I was always choosing to stick to what I know, and that was a mistake. Don't recommend.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, don't recommend.
So what was what made you continue to invest? Like how long did they last? Because if you continue to invest in them over an extended period of time, that's obviously past the looks, right? Because the looks is what gets you on the date, but you don't just continue seeing a guy because he's super attractive, or do you? Maybe you do. You tell me.
Not really. Not really. Definitely not. Because if you piss me off, like, why would I stick to you? Like, you're making me unhappy. I don't want to be unhappy. But, well, I say I had 2 previous relationships that actually mattered, let's say. So one was over a year, which was very little for me. And the other one was almost 4 years.
Wow.
And that 4 years was, at this point, the worst 4 years of my life.
Really? For the entire relationship was the worst?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I was very trapped and very manipulated by that person, let's say. Okay. I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't get drinks with my girls, whatever. Because whatever I was doing without the guy, he would tell me, oh, you go cheating. Like, oh, you a hoe. Like, oh, you go in place. I'm like, what? So I just chose to stay home and do nothing.
So was it that you couldn't go out with your friends, or he's like, I don't like you going on nights out with your friends where you're going drinking?
I couldn't go anywhere.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in home. I was supposed to help him in his business.
Yeah.
Quit my career, quit everything I do, and just focus on him. And I let him do it to me, actually.
Was he very successful?
He thinks so.
Would you say he was?
No.
No?
Not at all. In the beginning, I thought he was successful. But more and more I learned about him, I realized, oh yeah, no, you actually are nobody.
Okay, so he was expected to help out with his business. The reason I ask that is because guys of a certain level, a lot of the time, when they're choosing a partner, they have an expectation for that woman to fit very specifically into his life.
Yeah, that's true. But at this point, this guy made me quit my life to live his life. You know what I mean?
To support his life.
Only his. Like whatever I was doing was wrong. Like I was getting a modeling gig, bad. I was getting a music video, bad. Like you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to help me with my business.
Question. Obviously, that I'm not saying that's okay. Obviously, you should still be able to have a level of individuality outside of a relationship. Was it that he didn't want you to have an individuality outside of the relationship, or was it that he didn't want you to do those things? Because I think if it was like, so for example, if you're like, oh, I'm going to go help out with this charity.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking, would he be like, oh yeah, of course, go do that, babe. That's cool. But you saying, oh, I'm going to go and be in a hip hop video. He's probably like, nah, no, you're not. Like, I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because it's a very big difference between, I'm not saying there aren't guys who aren't controlling. There are. But it's a very big difference if a guy's like, I don't accept the woman I'm with doing this kind of stuff because he has a level of association with what those things entail.
Yeah,
and then other
true.
things that he's like, oh, this is classy, this is respectable, this is an environment that I think is good. Yeah, of course. And I'm not saying it's okay to be controlling, but that's why I'm asking the question. Because you say music videos and you say
modeling,
you say modeling and you say I'm going on Dan Bilzerian's yacht. Of course, most guys could be like, what do I look like, a freaking chump? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I partly agree with you, but also don't. Because with this guy, he was very connected to the hip hop industry in first place, so that shouldn't be really bothering. And in the first place, he knew who he's getting involved with, because it's not like I started doing all those things when I entered a relationship with him. I was already doing it.
Yeah.
So if you already knew the kind of industry I'm in, why would you get in a relationship where you don't want me to do those things?
I agree. I don't disagree with you. I think because he was involved in the industry, he knows, and that's probably why he was like, I don't want you in this environment. I don't want my girl in this environment.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair too.
So he's like, he knows what the industry is about. He knows what happens at these parties, at these music videos, the after party afterwards and everything like that. True. So he's probably like, I don't want you there because I don't want my girl to be one of those girls. Now, I agree with you in the sense of, oh, if you're already doing that and he's looking to get with you, expecting you to change that can be an unreasonable thing. I completely agree. But then obviously it's one of those things where then he shouldn't have just ever pursued this seriously.
Well, I never said you can't go on the set with me, you can't go to the after party, you can't go to my show. I never uninvited him from things. It was his personal choice, let's say, not to go. So like he was always invited. Like I never hid anything from him. Yeah. So having the idea that I will do something on a party or whatever because I'm in this kind of environment is kind of crazy to me too, you know?
From your experience, what happens in those kind of environments? Do you think he was justified in being concerned about it? Not saying he justified in not controlling you.
Depends. I say it depends on the girl. Well, first of all, I say it depends on the kind of job that, like the kind of gig that you're doing. Because if that's a music video, it's usually one big party while working. Okay, like it's like that. Like you work, you think you work hard, and you actually do because it's crazy hours. But at the end of the day, you actually have a lot of fun. And most of the time after those music videos, there comes an after party, and everybody wants to go. I was kind of sick of that at some point, so I was never going to any after party.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going home.
But in that environment, do you think that environment do you think his concerns about that environment were valid because of what usually happens in that culture?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, because that's a very tough environment, to be very fair.
When you first got into that environment, what was the first thing you learned about people in those kind of circles?
Well, first of all, they're never 100% honest with you. That's one. Two, they don't really care about you. Actually, they don't care about you at all. They just care about themselves, their money, and what they need to, achieve, what they want to achieve.
What they get from you.
So, yeah, you basically getting into that industry, you should know that you do it for yourself. So be the exact same energy. Sure. Like, don't give too much of yourself because you're just going to lose it. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. What about... would you say the kind of guys you met in those environments are different to the average guy, or?
Yeah, definitely yes. Yeah, they always think they are somebody. So Like, oh, I know the artist, or I am the artist, so come fuck with me because I'm this and that person. Like, come on, bro. Like, no. Like, only because you have a name to you doesn't mean like
You've never been involved with an artist before?
No.
Interesting.
No, I stay professional because I want to stick to the industry. I don't want to be in the industry, I don't know, with a little tag name that, oh, she did this and this and this guy. You know, like, I want to keep on getting those jobs. I want to be seen as a professional that just do what I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to get involved. I don't need to jump to anybody's bed to get a job.
Yeah.
I'm past that.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
If you don't want me, you don't want me. Like,
you're like, that's okay.
Fair square.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What's something you want to ask or bring to the conversation?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm terrible at question. Everybody always asks me, what would you like to ask? And I'm like, I don't know.
If you do, I mean, I know you said there were a few things that you're like, I want to know why this happened with the guy, or...
Yeah, like, okay, if I want to know what happens with guys, I would want to know why a guy be showing girl interest, right? And basically promising her the world. But when it comes to a commitment, there is a no. Why would you do everything towards a commitment, but don't want to give that commitment to the girl?
So are you saying he's saying that about doing all these things, or is he actually doing all these things?
Actually doing. Like, I've met a lot of guys that show that they are committed or that they want to be committed, but then when it comes to the actual relationship, they don't want to do it.
Okay, so when you say they're showing that, what does that look like in your eyes? Like,
in my eyes?
Yeah.
Well, caring about you, like, always being in your life, always supporting all you do. Like, that's a lot. Like, you actually give me a lot of your time. Why would you do that? Why would you waste your time like this?
So I would ask, does he introduce you to his friends?
Yeah.
Does he introduce you to his family?
Yeah. My gosh, yes.
Yeah. Does he take you on dates?
Yeah.
Where you don't have sex?
Yeah.
Well, then, if that happens, if he's doing all those things and it gets to a point where he doesn't want to commit, I would say the only two things that come to mind is that he gets to a point where he wants to stop investing. So he was investing seriously, and then he gets to a point where he realizes, actually, this isn't a person that I actually want to invest in. So he stops investing. And
makes sense.
Yeah. Or he met someone else that he wants to give that to.
Oh, I have a third for that, but that's kind of rude.
Oh, go for it. What's the third?
He also can end up being gay,
he could end up being gay. Is that what you think happened?
Maybe.
Did he end up with a guy?
Well, I don't know. I don't follow that person anymore.
Okay.
But
I guess
maybe
you could have been his cover.
Right?
Could have been his.
It's Miami culture. It's Miami culture. It's very masculine culture right there. So
when you say masculine culture, what do you mean?
Well, the guys in Miami always want to show off how strong they are, how cool they are. So I think actually many times, well, obviously there's a huge gay culture in Miami as well, which is respected and we love that.
Sure.
But a guy that shows interest in girls end up, let's say, actually being gay, he loses all that masculinity in his friend's eyes. So like everybody competes in Miami. You have to have the best body. You have to be the strongest. You have to have the best clothes, the best outfits, best girls, best cars. So you have to keep that image. You know what I mean? Even if it's not real, if you started that image, that's your image.
Right.
Because if you lose that image, you lose everything.
It's like you lose street cred.
Basically, yes.
You lose street cred. You lose reputation. Yep. That's hilarious. Like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
That's
you lose
hilarious. All your stars, cheat codes, everything.
You got no cheat code. No weapons for you, homeboy. What is dating like in Miami?
Tough.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any serious dating in Miami. Well, I do have few friends in serious relationships. Actually, also some married friends. I'm just kind of sorry for the girls. Oh,
really? Why is that? Why are you sorry?
Because I see their husbands, I see their partners in the clubs. Like, I see what they do. And they still go back home to their wife, their years-long girlfriends. Just tuckle in bed and whatever. Everything is fine. And they're okay with that too. So it's like, I think that's a culture.
Yeah, I think that...
Hookup culture. It's no dating in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, if they're in a relationship, obviously that's no hookup. But I think... yeah, it's probably more of a culture acceptable over there for a man to exercise his options.
Yeah, think about it this way. You live in Miami, right? You're in a long-term relationship, but every week there's brand new girls coming into town from all around the world.
It's very true. It's very true.
It's very tempting too.
What is the attraction of Miami to women, to young women?
Easy. Party culture.
Just the party culture.
It's a party. Party in Miami for a girl. If you're a pretty girl in Miami, you get everything for free.
Yeah.
Like you get all the entries to the clubs for free. You get a VIP section. You get all the bottles. Whatever you want, it's all there for you for free. All you have to do is look decently. Ideally, have few friends with you, all looking cute. You have all for free. Yacht parties, mansion parties. Everything comes to you. They want you there.
So I guess here's the question then. Do you think most women actually want long-term relationships, like a fulfilling relationship?
It's a tough question, actually, because I would normally say yes, but these days, I think it's kind of half-half. Some of them want relationships, some of them want to have fun.
I guess I mean eventually.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Okay.
I think there's more and more females that just want to have fun and don't want to commit.
Like ever?
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess Miami is the best place for that. Because the reason I ask is because if a girl wanted a long-term relationship, why would you go to like the party?
Yeah, why would you go to Miami? Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And I get, you can meet the celebrities and you get everything for free. So I get the draw, but then don't most women know that that's just very short term? Like,
of course.
All of that is just to get the kind of shallow instant gratification. It's not the thing that builds a long-term partnership. Yeah. It's not a foundation for anything.
Of course not. Like, how can you build a foundation on a party culture? Like, you just met the guy drunk. Like, really? Like, you want to build on that? Why? You seen the guy over the weekend with 50 different women. Do you really want to build with that guy? Or same goes the other way around. The guy see the girl in 5 different clubs over a weekend. Yeah. Why would you want to commit to that girl? Like, she's a party hole. Sorry. That's what
it's funny you say that, because you literally said about your ex, like, he didn't want me going to these music videos and going out with my girlfriends and stuff. So isn't that kind of the same thing?
It can't, yay and nay, because see, like, I just know myself, and at this point with that specific guy we were talking about, it was just stupid because he knew me too. Like, I don't really like to be around people, so I'll go to the club, I'll get my section, but that's it. I'm not leaving that section, I'm not talking to new people, I'm just enjoying myself, having my drink, go home. And I usually go home early because I want to go to sleep. I want to wake up early, I want to go and do my run.
I guess I get what you're saying. I think if you're like, okay, I'm going out because I want to spend time with my girls, 100% get that. But the club is not the only environment where you can spend time with your girls. No. Like, you can go for brunch, you can
brunches
go for dinner, like, you can go to the beach, whatever it is. So I think if it's like, oh, I'm just going to spend time with my girls, but I'm choosing to go to a party environment where I know there's all this degeneracy that's going on.
Yeah.
I think a guy would go, well, if that's not you, why is that the environment that you would choose to go spend time in when you have other options?
Well, if it comes to parties, I usually would choose the day party. Like, I would go to a pool party, and I would go only because I like the pool, I like the environment over there. But I didn't really often go to the clubs, to be fair. Like, the fact that I wasn't allowed to go to the club made me want to go, but at the end of the day, that's not really my thing. Like, I prefer to go to a pool party. Starts at 12, ends at 7, go to sleep.
That's so funny. So him saying he didn't want you to go made you want to go more.
Basically. Yeah, if you can't do something, you want to do it. Like, why can't I do it? If you say no to the kid wanted more.
I get it. The taste of the forbidden fruit.
Exactly.
I understand that. I guess the question is, we behave and move differently when we're single than when we're in a relationship.
That's true.
And so in that kind of environment, what boundaries do you think are acceptable when you get into a relationship? Because I completely get, you're like, well, if I'm the kind of person, you met me, I go to these bars, I go to these clubs, I go on like celebs, yachts and stuff. I'm in these music videos, twerking my ass. I'm not saying that's what you did. But if like a girl was like that, if she gets to a relationship, do you not think it's acceptable to have boundaries on those things? for the sake of the relationship. Because a guy could say, okay, when you met me, I was sleeping with 5 different girls. So if you get into a relationship, I'm still going to be going out sleeping with 5 different girls. You wouldn't be okay with that.
No, of course not.
He wouldn't be like, oh, well, when you met me, I was doing this, so you have to accept it. You wouldn't be okay.
See, but if before the relationship, the guy was sleeping with 5 girls, right? Was he getting paid for it? No, I'm getting paid for doing my music video. So like,
doesn't matter though. You don't get paid to go out and party at nightclubs.
It depends.
You don't get paid to go to the after party of music videos.
It depends. But most depends.
Okay.
You can get paid sometimes.
But the times you don't get paid, you would go, right?
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't going on after parties when I was in a relationship. That's 100%.
Okay. So when
my guy didn't want to go, I was just not going. I was doing my job and going home. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was never the problem. Like I set my boundaries. If I do a music video, if my man wants to join the after party and do it, let's go. But if you don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it either. Like that's disrespectful.
I think that's a really good compromise that he should have accepted.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. Like if I have fun on the set that I'm getting paid for, that's one thing. But if I'm still like continuing with the fun, going to the party after, and he doesn't even want to join me, why would I go there? Like why would I go with 50 other guys? Like I already have a man in the house. That's disrespectful.
Because you get money. 100%. I agree. I think the respect is dependent on the couple. But I think that's a good compromise, especially in that culture. What's a boundary that he had to shift in what he was doing to accommodate the relationship you had with him? What was the equivalent? None. Oh, none.
None.
Okay.
I had absolutely no problem with anything he was doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he wasn't one of those guys who was with different women all the time. And...
No, not at all. He didn't even like it. Like he wanted to be with his guys, like do his things, make money. Yeah. I respect that. And I don't know, like if I'm at work doing things and you want to sit with your guys, play a game or just sit and talk for hours, why would I say no? Like
you're like, perfect. You're not at the strip club. That's golden.
I mean, if you want to go to the strip club, remember to pick me up because I want to have fun too. You know, like shit. Why not?
I hear that. Let me ask you something. What's the most toxic thought you've ever had about a guy? And I'll share.
The most toxic
thought you've ever had about a guy. And I'll share one of mine. Like, I thought you're like, wow, this is really toxic. I'm asking you to really expose yourself, but I'll do the same.
Damn, I don't really know. My most toxic thing was, I guess,
most toxic thought. You're not saying you acted on it.
Yeah, I know.
But it could be like, I'm just going to use this guy for his money, or I'm just going to use him to get to his friend.
On my side.
Yeah, what's the most toxic thought you've had to a guy, about a guy?
Yeah, probably use the guy just for connections, be nice, get my connections, get what I need, get out.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't doing any crazy things. That's the thing about me.
Yeah,
no, I'm a pretty boring person.
I think that, you say toxic thought, I think that's, in that environment, that's pretty common. Like,
yeah, that's very common.
Especially for women to guys. I think a lot of women be like, I'm using this guy for the opportunities and networks that
exactly,
he has.
The opportunities ends, our friendship ends too. Bye.
So I guess if you were doing that, did you do that because that's how you wanted to operate?
No, because I just saw the opportunity and wanted to grab it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never promised anybody anything in an exchange. So if you got the idea, that's on you. That was my game, I guess. Like make you think things, but I never told you anything. So it's only in your head. Like I couldn't ever feel bad or sorry for it.
Yeah.
In my
look,
head.
I get what you're saying. I mean, we always justify our own actions, right? So I get it. You're like, well, if I didn't say that I was about this, and if you assume that based on my actions, that's on you. I get that.
Yeah, that's on you. I was just talking, being nice. Hey.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay, I guess I have to expose myself now. What's the most toxic thought I've had? That oh no, this is terrible. Okay, so there was why had I done this? Okay, there was I've had a friends with benefits before, and there was a girl who I had a friends with benefits situation, and she was very clingy. Like she'd be asking, when am I next going to see you, before she even left. She'd be texting me all the time and stuff. But we both had the chat that, yo, this is chill. This is a friends with benefits thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And so if I'm being honest, any time that we actually taught to hang out, it would be so we could have fun. And there was one time when I was like, okay, we're going to have such an intense session that she's going to be too sore that she'll leave me alone for a bit.
And did she really do it?
For like a few days, yeah. That was it. I mean, I worded it differently in my head, but I worded it nicely here. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
You get the idea. I think that's probably one of the worst. I was like, well, it is what it is. Do you prefer dating guys in the UK or the US?
I didn't really have a time to date guys in the UK.
Oh, I guess you didn't.
I got married.
Okay, so what, in the US, and where else have you dated?
I used to date. I lived in the UK back in 2015 or 16. I can never get it right.
Okay.
So I was dating here and there, like just, like random date here, there, whatever. I actually lived in London at that time.
Nice.
It's a tough one because you get a little bit of both. I think like they're both kind of good, but people here, not only in UK but Europe overall, they're more into commitment and they're more straightforward.
Okay.
Like in the US, people play games, and I don't like that. Like if you don't want to do something, just please tell me. You don't like me, please tell me. Like don't make me guess.
Yeah,
I'm not good at guessing.
Yeah.
I'm blonde for a reason. Like, please be straightforward.
Well, it could be a thing of he doesn't know he likes you yet. So he's still getting to know you.
But it's also the commitment issues that they have in the US, I think. Like, nobody really want to get in a relationship. Like, they want to have fun. It's out there. It's so easy.
It's funny because I guess, to be fair, you've not been here long and you're not in the dating scene here anymore. But I think for a lot of women in London, they'd say the same thing.
It's London though,
it's London, yeah.
It's just like Miami, but not tropical version, like people from all around the world.
Yeah.
So you have the environment like changing. The party scene is pretty great in London as well.
Yeah.
So you have so many people.
Yeah.
Coming, going. So that's very similar. So London is not a good place for dating, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good place for dating, maybe not relationships.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
How do you handle being in this scene now in regards to your relationship and your marriage and your husband?
Well, actually, so I kind of stepped down a little bit, but that was just my personal choice. Nobody made me do it. And I think my husband would actually be super cool with me, keep on doing modeling, keep on doing music videos, because he likes that stuff. He was never against it. Every conversation we had about it was very cool, very chill. Nice. So I don't really think he would have anything against that kind of situation. Also, I would invite him everywhere because I just like the guy so much. Yeah. Like, he can go everywhere with me. Like, he pissed me off. I tell him a lot of bad things, but at the end of the day, I really like his company. Yeah. So he can go anywhere with me. But right now, I'm mostly focusing on management, social media management.
Yes.
So I'm just chilling. Like, I'm just bored. And I manage other people. I tell them what to do, how to get the gigs.
And what is he involved in the similar industry at all, or
he is completely different industry. He's trying to get more into videographing though.
Nice.
So that would be something that we can do together, and I'm looking forward into it.
Yeah.
Because that would be very, very nice. Because I do that. I content create. Like, I do content creation a lot, and if we can, like, do it together, that makes us a dream team. Like, wherever I go, he goes, or he goes, I go.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love his company, so wherever we go is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So obviously you've dated guys in the past where, you're like, this is not the kind of guy for me. I don't fuck with these kind of guys. And now you're with, a guy who you're very happy with, etc. Yeah. What would you say, now that you've kind of experienced both ends, what's something you know about men today that you didn't know, let's say, 5 years ago?
I still know absolutely nothing about men.
Are we that complicated? Do you think we're that complicated?
Yes and no. I don't think you guys are complicated because, like, if guy means something, he actually mean that. And then if girl say no, she actually think yes or maybe or guess. Why don't you know already? Like, come on. That's why I have many male friends, not many female friends.
Okay.
Easy. But I know absolutely nothing about men. I just know they like to be left in peace, have time with their guys, have a beer in peace. Don't hear nothing about like, oh, you're drinking 4 beer in a row. Like, so what? Went to work, did 50 hours, let me have my beer, like, in peace. That's all I know about men. Like, they just want to have a little peace, a little fun, and no complaints. That's all my knowledge.
Honestly, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, and I respect that.
Honestly, like, and this is why I think, obviously I'm biased as a guy, but we are so simple. Literally
and
what
so
you said,
chill.
A bit of peace, a bit of fun, and fun can be with the boys, fun can be with you, fun can be sex, and minimal complaints. That's it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just want to watch TV all day, and so what? Like, I do that too.
Yeah.
Play a game. Why would I, like, please don't complain about me playing FIFA for 5 hours.
Yeah. So true. I remember I had, I shouldn't say this, an ex of mine when we were in lockdown. She didn't even live with me. She didn't live with me, but actually it was funny because actually lockdown was actually pretty good for our relationship because she didn't live with me, but we would see each other like every few weeks and she stayed for a week. So it was really nice. But lockdown, like nothing's going on. If I was playing 2K for 2 hours, she had a big issue with it. And I'm like,
what
we can't even go outside. Like, what else?
What else are you gonna do?
What else do you want me to do? Like, we've already played cards. We've already read together. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Oh, that is so funny. Why do you think girls have such a ick disdain for a guy playing a video game? Because I feel like that's quite a common thing.
It is. I really don't know. I like playing games, so I'm probably not the right female to ask the question. Because if you play the game, I kind of want to join.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. Why girls have problem with it? Because I think we constantly want to have attention.
I think that's the realest answer anyone's given to that question. Big facts.
Yeah, that's because girls constantly want to be the center of attention. And how are you going to be focused on the game for 2 hours, not on her sitting next to you doing absolutely nothing? And then she's going to be on her phone. Oh, you don't talk to me? You're going to play your game?
Yes.
But girl, you just spent 2 hours in your freaking phone checking TikTok and Instagram?
Right.
Like,
so
that's why I don't have girlfriends. You see, like, exactly why.
So true. That's literally for guys. That's what we think. We're like, but you weren't talking, so I'm just gonna
like
do my
exactly.
thing.
Like, you're not talking. Like, you're not interested in anything. Like, oh, if we start watching a movie, because that's very, very common too. I think. Like, the guy is gonna be like, oh, let's watch a movie, and the girl's like, okay, let's do it. And 5 minutes into the movie, she's on her phone.
Yeah.
Like, come on, girl. Like, and you have a problem with a guy playing a game?
Yeah.
That's why girls don't like me.
How? Why? Could you say how it is?
Because this is what it is. Like, the problem is not in the guy. The problem is in you.
How much do you think, this is very exposing, but how much do you think is, and the only reason I ask this is because a comedian made a joke about this. I was like, oh, maybe there's some truth in this. How much is it that a woman doesn't like to see her man enjoying himself outside of her? Like when she's with him. Not when they're not together, but like when she's with him. Like, why is he having so much fun outside of me? Is that a thing? Or was that just a joke the comedian was making?
I think that might have some truth in it.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, if you have fun and you enjoy yourself, bad. Like, can I get involved?
Yeah.
Like, can I have that fun too?
Yeah, of course.
Unless I'm too busy having fun with myself. So, okay.
You're like, I'm busy. I'm doing my thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's a good question. I don't really know the answer for it. There might be a little truth in it.
Yeah. Do you find how do you find guys fare in dating today? Because I think a lot of girls are like, oh, guys aren't looking for commitment, struggle to find a relationship with like the guys they're involved with. How do you think, from your take, guys are faring in dating?
Well, they don't want to commit most of the time.
So do you think they're having a great time?
Yeah. They just don't want to commit. Guys don't want to commit these days. Guys want to have fun these days, which I understand girls want to do the same thing. Well, I had to leave the States to find my man. So actually, he found me.
And you found each other in the States?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was he doing there?
That's actually funny because he was going to Mexico for like a month vacation last year, and he missed his flight. And he had a connecting flight in Miami to Mexico. He missed that flight, so he stayed in Miami. And I was actually doing like event over there for a week. That time, and I was like checking Instagram because I was bored, obviously.
Yeah.
And I see his story, and he's like in Miami Beach, basically 15 minutes away from my job. So I'm like, don't even piss me off, like, bro, like we have to catch up.
Yeah.
So I invited him to my event, and he was supposed to go to the after party with us, but it was so hectic. It never happened. So the next day I went to work and I texted him again. I'm like, okay, like tonight, like I do absolutely nothing. So we can meet up, have some drinks, grab a dinner, whatever. And
so technically, like you kind of asked him out. Yeah. See that, ladies? You can ask a guy out and look, she's happily married.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that. We love that. What's something you would tell your 18-year-old self?
Have fun. Don't be so stressed. Like,
really?
Not everything is this serious. Like, don't worry about everything. Chill out, basically. Chill out.
Were you like always stressed about everything when you were younger?
Yep. Always on the go. Always had to, I don't know, prove something to somebody. Always had to be the best. Like, chill. Come on, chill. Like, things come to you regardless.
Did you feel, as a modern woman, did you feel that you had to compete with men a lot?
With men? No, not at all.
No?
No. I never
good.
had problems to like have a competition with a man. No, not really. Females. Yeah.
What's a competition amongst women that men wouldn't know?
Well, it's always about the looks, I would say. It's always about who's going to be skinnier, who's going to be prettier, who's going to have better outfit, like who's smarter, whose guy is better, which is very stupid. Like you can't compare relationships, you know? Like if I like somebody, like you might not like that somebody, but I might not like the person you're dating with. But I think those are the issues I had with the girls in the past. Always competing. It's always like a quiet competition. They're never going to tell you straight up in your face.
Never over,
But like girls always look, like you always want to look better. You always want to be better. And then in my industry, in modeling, for me, it was always a struggle because I was always petite. So always shorter than every other girl.
Sure.
So harder for me to get the job. I'm heavily inked on my legs mostly, so you don't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another issue for me because they don't really like inked models. Or if they do like them, it's for certain things.
It's
like,
very specific.
Yeah.
Got you.
So it was always like a competition for me to like try to be seen in front of all of those girls that are like taller than me, prettier than me, like less inked than me. You know, it was always like a struggle. I always felt like a fat girl comparing to all those girls around me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, of course. I guess especially in that kind of industry, that modeling industry, that's mad. What is a frenemy? Do you know what it means when I say frenemy?
Yeah.
I feel like girls have frenemies.
Yeah,
what
of course.
That?
What is frenemy? It's like a how do you explain what is a frenemy? It's like a like you don't necessarily hate that person, but you don't necessarily like that person.
But you still choose to hang out with them.
But you still choose to hang out when you need to. Or when it's convenient for you.
Okay. So why would you need to hang out with someone that you don't actually like?
Because they might have something I want.
Like
or they might have a connection I want. And I want that connection. And I might get it through that person.
But then why... But you could do that with guys, right? There'd be guys that you only hang out with because... But you wouldn't call a guy a frenemy. I feel like frenemy is a term girls use for each other.
I think so, yeah.
You would call a guy a frenemy? No. So why is it with girls then? Because girls will hang out with girls that they don't like, that they don't even trust, but they will still be like, oh, I'm going because X and X in there is going to be there. And so we'll hang out together. So like, what is the purpose of hanging out with other girls that you don't like? I just don't understand.
So you can talk shit about them later.
Is that literally it?
That's the first thing that came to my head.
Is there an element of, would a girl who's a frenemy, would she have to be, this sounds very shallow, but I'm just going to ask, would she have to be quite attractive for her to be, okay. So you wouldn't be frenemy with a girl that you don't think is attractive?
What we now know what she's going to bring to the table. At this point, I'm the pretty one that's going to get her in.
So then I think that lends me to think that it's about because you hanging with a certain type of girl or girls gives you status, social status.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, and that sounds really terrible. It makes me look like a very terrible person, but yes.
No, but I think it's a common thing amongst the
so,
female community, if you will.
It really is. Yeah, there is nothing such a girl world. Maybe there is somewhere. Never been a part of it.
Yeah, I do think there is some degree if you have to choose the right people, but yeah, it's like, you know, like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of that amongst girls who are very attractive. Like they'll hang out with girls because they're very attractive and actually boost their own status, even if they don't like the girl.
Yeah, and Regina George is their like guru. So come on, Mean Girls. That's the main one. You know, that's where they all got the idea from.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because every Mean Girl wants to be a Regina George. Every Mean Girl wants to be her from that movie.
It's true, and every girl wants to be her friend, even if they hate her.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Why would Regina George be friends with those girls if she's the one providing the status?
Easy, because one of like talking about specific that Regina George girl from the movie, one of her friends was just stupid and very into her, so you want to have the groupies.
Right.
And the other one was rich. So if you can't get something with your status, you're gonna get it with the girl's money, right?
Damn, that's hard as a woman, like knowing who's actually a friend of yours and who isn't.
Yep.
And especially because girls are so
complicated,
covert, so they won't directly.
No, they will never directly tell you what they think, what they want. You have to guess. Like that's a guessing game right there. And is she honest? Is she being honest with me? Is she lying, or is she trying to get something off me? Is she's gonna be nice to me today and then talk shit about me the next?
Yeah.
What is it with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very tough to find your girls.
What would you tell your son about, you know, dating a woman or dating women?
Like that?
Well, just what to look out for.
Sheesh. Look out for a girl that is trying to use you just for like as a wallet. Like, come on, that's terrible. Like, don't be that person. Please, like, don't. Make sure you good before you make sure somebody else is good. That's my very first thing to say to my son, and I hope I have a son one day, not a daughter.
Why?
Because guys are so much easier.
I mean, I'm biased.
And I can play soccer with him. I can play video games with him. I don't have to have the talk about the periods and all that stuff and how you have to be careful because you're a girl. Don't walk here and there because you're a girl. You know, like you don't have to have that talk with that guy.
Don't you like the idea of having like a daughter who's just like her mom? No. I mean, that's an insult to you. Like,
yeah, no. I would so not want to have me. First of all, I'm terrible. Like, I'm moody. If I have another me, I'm moving out. You're
like too much. At least you're aware. At least you're aware of it. That's so funny. What's one last thing you'd like to ask? What's one thing you'd ask all men, if you could?
What?
What's one thing you would ask all men if you could?
Woman?
No, all men.
All men if I could?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you want from us? Like, please tell me what exactly is that you want from us so I can be the perfect wife and everybody is, you know, envy of my husband that I'm actually his wife. Like how to be the perfect female. Like what do you see? Yeah. What do you think is a perfect female, like a perfect woman? Like what are the...
Okay. I mean, this is just my biased opinion. I would say a woman that we are attracted to. You don't have to be a model. You don't have to be some Insta baddie girl. Just have to be attractive to the point that we look at you and we go, I want to be intimate with you, right? And the bar for being attractive to guys, for women, is quite low. It's not that high. Because most guys would have sex with anything.
That's very true.
For most guys. Yeah, a lot of guys who are up here, who get a lot of options, their standards are much higher because they're in a place of a level of abundance. Most guys aren't like that. So if you're somewhat attractive as a woman, you're good. Do you know what I mean? Regular intimacy, man.
Okay.
Guys like sex. And it's not just like it's not even just sex, but also, you know, it's also you you wanting to please him.
Yeah, makes sense.
Does that make sense? And you wanting to please him because his pleasure makes you happy. It's like called the girlfriend experience, which is actually a big reason why a lot of husbands cheat with escorts, because they're looking for the girlfriend experience. It's not actually about sex. It's about having a woman that
pleases
admires him, dotes on everything he says, because you're so intelligent, dotes on him, wants to please him. That's what, when guys pay for escorts, that's what they're paying for. They're not paying for the sex, they're paying for the girlfriend experience.
Okay.
And so I would say that's one, like regular intimacy. This is true if he's looking at you as a mother, a nurturing quality, like you know how to make a house into a home. I'm not saying you have to do all the domestics, but he comes home from a long day, he puts his jacket up, and maybe you just bring him a nice water. It's that little things like that makes him go, she cares.
Yeah, that's the one.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a very attractive quality in a mother. And if he's looking at you for serious, he's going to be looking at you as a mother.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then the last thing, and we kind of said this, but I'd say two things, I guess. Second last thing, choose your battles. You don't know how to let things go that aren't that important. If something's really important to you, of course, bring it up, because if it's important to you, it's going to be important to him.
Yeah.
But you don't have to contest on everything that you don't like, because there's a lot of things that guys let go for the sake of the peace of the relationship that I think women don't realize.
Yeah, I think I actually just realized that.
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it could be like, I mean, we say this, but it could be like you going out with your girls. A lot of guys, they know that environment entails. And it's like, if you're going without him, it's like, I don't really want my girl in that kind of environment. But it's like, I'm not going to tell you can't go out with your girlfriends. I'm not going to tell you can't go and have a good time and have, you know, a life outside of this. So go have fun. But that's something he lets go of.
Yeah, but that's something that's still somewhere in the head, right?
Right. So I think for guys, it's like, okay, so if I'm paying FIFA for 5 hours and you don't like it, you're allowed to not like it, but let it go.
Yeah, let me be.
If I don't do the dishes a couple of times, right? It's not a big deal. Let it go.
Come on, if I cook, you clean.
So you should kind of go. Another thing, we said this, is just sometimes guys need their own space.
We do too.
Yeah.
That's something I really respect. They're like, everybody needs space.
Yeah.
Everybody needs space.
I think men need more than women though.
Yeah, I guess so, because we really are very clingy. Females are very clingy. Like, we want that. Actually, I'm quite opposite, but yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, I think
females want the attention, and guy just wants to chill and have like space, his own.
And I don't. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing that a woman wants more attention than a guy maybe optimally would like to give, because she cares and she wants it. And I think guys would rather she wants too much attention than not enough.
Oh, I think I'm there not enough.
You think what? Your guy like, why don't you want to see me?
I like myself so much, and I like my own company so much. I like to be left alone. Like, it don't bother me if the guy wants to do something. And like, do it. Perfect. Can you do it like 5 extra hours, please?
Sure.
Because I want my peace. So like, I get that part about guys.
Yeah.
And I respect that, because I want the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I want to be left alone time to time.
Yeah. I think when you have that level of open transparency, then you have that trust that it's like, okay, he or she is not giving me time, not because they're less interested, because that's just what works for them. But I think more guys are like, sometimes I just need my own space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Listen, Paulina, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate your energy. If people want to find you and follow you, where can they find you?
Probably bet is Instagram.
Instagram, what's your Instagram?
It's Pauline Pop, Paulean Pop.
We love it.
Pauline Pop.
Well, guys, go show Paulina some love. We love the chat and the energy she brought today. We learned some things about, you know, across the pond as well, which is great, about some US guys. I'm sure I don't recommend with that. But thank you for coming on. We appreciate your energy. So thank you for being here. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.